Family Skeptical, Parenting Through Nonbelief.
We're a married atheist couple raising two wonderful, strange children. We ask big questions, dissect weird parenting moments, and examine how society ignores or misrepresents families like ours. If you're any stripe of non-believer who's involved in raising children, welcome. You are our people.
Our kids have heard all our swears, but yours might not have. So be thoughtful if there are young people listening with you.
Happy holidays.
Yeah.
Happy Saturnalia.
So
Happy Yule. Praise the goddess.
New Year's.
Hug a druid.
All those things.
Don't light the forest on fire.
So when we're recording this, it is not yet the holidays.
Oh, yes, it is.
Well, yeah. Okay. It's the holiday season.
It's Hanukkah.
It is. We're right in the middle of Hanukkah. We have not yet hit Christmas or New Year's yet.
Well, we're a quarter into Hanukkah.
Yeah.
We're a quarter into Hanukkah.
Yeah. Which we do almost not at all. We just let the kids light the candles because they like playing with fire. But
yeah. Who doesn't?
Yeah, exactly. And it's just, as far as the Jewish holidays go, it's not the most exciting of them. So we put more of our effort on that front into Purim and Passover.
It's not like Passover. Passover is a freaking action movie.
Exactly. Yeah. But by the time you're hearing this, those will have occurred for you. So we hope everyone had good holidays. If you have irritating religious relatives, we hope you survived. And
you survived.
Yeah.
You're strong. Our listeners are strong.
Even if you're not, we hope you were able to escape to a bathroom.
Or a
garage, I don't know, whatever, basement.
A handle of Kettle One.
Yeah. So like last year, I think like all of you, clearly everyone's very busy. This time of year, our number of listeners always drops off precipitously, which makes perfect sense. But just because things will be busy for us over the holiday season, we're not going to have a full episode today. But there are a couple things. I know, we're falling down on the job. But there are a couple things that I had to cut out of past episodes. So I'm going to pull a couple little weird random tidbits. There's not going to be any relationship between the little things.
Franken episode.
I mean, truly Franken. It's going to be a grab bag. It's just a little something. And then
what have you?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then we'll be back with more episodes right after this. But I did have one little story I wanted to tell because I just think it's so funny. Mm-hmm. So all of my research into trad wives.
Oh God, not them again.
This is just purely funny.
All right.
So I'm following all of these people through my personal account. And so in my stories, it just happens that a couple of the influencers always come up after, I don't even want to say friends because I don't have friends anymore, but they're two wonderful people.
What does that mean? That's an episode we should unpack.
We should. I don't know. But they're two wonderful guys who I went to school with at different times. They're both gay, and I love following their stories because one is just like one of the best people I've ever met. And his stories are just full of beautiful men and interesting places where he's doing interesting work and a cute dog. And I really hope that represents his life because I truly want that for him. And the other doesn't post a lot, but truly posts the best things that I've ever seen online. So they're just little spots of joy in my life. Wonderful guys. But two of the trad wives always come up after their stories.
What is Instagram telling you?
And I am too tired to always be able to tell that a new person's stories have started. So now multiple times I've been looking at things and a post has come up and I have tried to conceptually figure out why this like wonderful gay man is posting a religious quote that just doesn't make any sense. So I'm going to be like, whoa, that is really strange coming. Like, that is not the book that I'd expect him to be reading. I wonder. And then I'm like, oh, never mind.
You know your circadian rhythm is off when...
We've switched people now.
Wow. I didn't know that. That's messed up.
Yeah, it's been... And it happened once, and I'm like, this is absurd. And then it happened again.
You should reach out and tell them. I think they'd be amused.
Yeah.
Be like, yeah, I thought you were Abby Shapiro?
Like, yeah, I thought your life had taken a real unexpected turn. But thankfully not. I think they're both still living their best lives. And I am just not responding fast enough in my brain to things.
And Cholula just galloped into the room with her favorite mouse toy.
Aw.
With her ears back, she's in full hunt mode. We have cats. Our cats are great.
Yeah.
I love cats.
We were just discussing, because we have kittens, we can't have a Christmas tree this year.
Yeah, it's very sad.
So no Christmas tree.
We didn't have one last year because we also had a kitten situation.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. The mouse lives. It has a life of its own. It taunts her.
So, anywho, happy holidays.
Yeah.
Hope everyone is doing well. And coming up are just strange, random things that we hope you enjoy. I don't like using the term self-care.
Why?
Because
does it sound weird and like new agey or something?
It has a lot of baggage,
and I think care about other people's baggage.
Well, I'm just
fine.
Okay, you have to take it from a mom's perspective.
Air your thing.
Like, moms are always being told. Moms are always being told to do self-care,
right?
And I think it actually is much harder than people make it out to be. So I just have some mixed feelings about that term, and I have some mixed feelings telling people that it's easy. But I think there's like a level beyond that, like, my life had to change because raising kids is just really effing difficult. Where I think people lose themselves in even a bigger way. And that's where I feel like we have to be really thoughtful, because I think we have done some things fairly, like, I think we've made some decisions that have helped us. So, for example, like, I am not a sports person. The boys are sports people. So I would never say, I don't like sports, you don't get to do sports. You know? Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not suggesting that. I think it is really good to support kids in their interests. But, like, there are some sports that are just a huge pain in the ass that we have simply not put on the table.
Yes.
Like, I think we've been very...
no hockey, no gymnastics. Those schedules are whack.
Yeah,
whack.
So we've been very intentional about presenting a lot of sports opportunities, but presenting ones that wouldn't destroy our lives.
Good point.
And that we are excited about watching them do, I would say.
Yeah.
And as I get older, we'll have less control over that, for sure. I'm sure they will come to us with things.
Sure.
But at least for the time being, I think we have presented them with options that we would enjoy as well.
That's a very good point.
It's even things as simple as, you know, I think for a lot of liberal parents, there's a lot of focus around making sure kids feel like they have bodily autonomy.
Yeah.
So, you know, asking them, is it okay to touch you in this way? Like, if they say stop tickling right away. Just, you know, trying to have them feel a sense of ownership over their own body.
Sure.
But then on the other side, I so often hear about moms just feeling like totally touched out. And I wonder if parents are allowing themselves to set some boundaries in that way. You know, I mean,
You set boundaries.
I do. Like, I do not like having my face touched.
No.
I've had a lot of issues with my skin. I wear foundation. I don't like having it get on people. And like, I am so cuddly with the boys.
Except for the face.
But they know not to touch my face.
Yeah.
You know?
I know not to touch your face.
Yeah. Everybody knows not to touch my face.
I learned my lesson.
But I
got the scars.
Never. But I do feel like sometimes parents feel like if they set that boundary, it's somehow not showing full love to their kids.
That's good,
and I think it's, I don't know, like I think
but you have to set a boundary. Like if it bothers you, like we've talked about this in the past, right? To be a good caregiver, you need to be able to protect yourself internally, psychically. Mm-hmm. You need to have an outlet for your stress. You need to have lines in the sand. You need to have barriers up. You need to be professional when you need to be. And I mean, especially if it's just you, then your state of mind is what is protecting your children from the outside world, insofar as you want them protected. And if your state of mind is constantly stressed and you let them do this thing to you physically where you feel your space is being invaded, you are not giving yourself a break. Like, we love our kids, but they are people. We are people. You know, you are a community in your family. And so community requires cooperation. And if there's something that they're doing that's hurting you, you owe it to the whole family, not just to you, but by virtue of how they rely on you, you owe it to them to make sure that those boundaries are clear and strong, you know, obviously loving. I know. And it's different for every person. Like I personally, I don't mind that they touch my face or head, but when my hair gets longer and I have thinning hair up top and it becomes more challenging to keep it kind of put together without a lot of product. And so I do like bare minimum product, but that means that I have to have a little bit more control over how my hair gets tousled. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so when I'm wrestling with them, I have to make sure that if I'm not in a position to like fix myself up again, then, you know, they don't touch my head. And so because of that, it's kind of inconsistent. And that's just the nature of me wanting to be, you know, like hands-on with them, but then also needing them to respect that there are times when it doesn't work, but those times aren't necessarily always clear cut. So I've kind of put myself into a situation where it's hard for me in that regard. Right. But I accept that it's a challenge for me to do that. I'm also not totally put out by it, you know? So again, like with celebrity and parasocial relationships, it's a case-by-case basis.
You know, and it feels like there are enough people hurting in this area where whatever you worry about the consequence being of making some boundary or doing something to yourself, I'm really starting to wonder if the harm isn't greater in sort of the psychological damage on the parent and the family of not doing that. So,
yeah, it's interesting.
You know, and going back to our episode about violence towards women, I've also really started to think, like, what message are we sending when the main female figure the children see are putting themselves last all the time? I feel like that has to have an impact.
Of course it does. Kids learn so much from how we model. And what is that except for modeled behavior, you know?
Just a little warning heading into this one for parents listening with kids around. We will be discussing Santa in about a minute. And you know what that means. Okay. So reader, you are a December baby and you just turned 10. So I am curious, do you feel like there's anything different about you from being 9 to now being 10?
I don't really know.
Well, do you think there are any big differences between last school year and this school year?
Maybe not. Okay. Yes, but I don't want to tell them.
Interesting. Okay. Then can you tell me your favorite Christmas tradition?
It is between opening presents and being with family and having lots of food.
Do you have a favorite Christmas food?
I don't know what Christmas foods are.
Yes, you do.
Like pudding, but we never had pudding. I've never had pudding.
Well, there are Christmas cookies. There's like turkey.
Oh yeah, I love Nana's Christmas cookies.
Yeah, that's a fair one. Trade it out, boys.
It's my turn now?
Yeah.
Hi, guys!
Okay, so go. This year is momentous because this is the first Christmas that you told me Santa isn't real. I'm wondering, does that change how you feel about Christmas at all?
I've basically always known that he wasn't real, so it doesn't change that much at all. It changes nothing. Like, I was always doubting that he was real. I've been doubting for like a long time, and I've known it for a long time. But this year is the first year I've actually told you that that's not real.
Interesting. So are you saying that you're better at keeping a secret than me and Dad?
I could. It's possible. It could be.
Okay. Do you have a favorite Christmas tradition?
I would say it's in between. I would say it's in between opening hundreds of thousands of presents, eating Nana's cookies, and getting up together with family. It's in between those three.
Awesome. Can you say Merry Christmas?
Merry Christmas!
Happy holidays. Bored AF had a problem with the recording. And in the story, it made it clear that they do no editing of their podcast.
So now you feel better?
No, I'm like, oh my God, they are such professionals. Like the fact that they don't have to edit out like 1 minute pauses between words.
Well, they've had more practice and they also have more professional recording studio.
Yes. But still, I was like, whoa.
Hey.
Yeah.
Finished basement.
I know.
just like two simple side-by-side booths or one booth.
Yeah, people do that. Yeah.
Where we just sit opposite each other with two mics.
Yeah.
We can stare lovingly into each other's eyes.
I know. It'd be amazing.
Yeah, we should do that. That's easier.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway,